we have a team that's definitely in a prove-it year for their head coach, Mike Hopkins. That is the Washington Huskies. They've had a pretty rough stretch. They did go 16-16, 8-12 in Pac-12 play last year, but the Pac-12, for their few good teams they had last year, they were not very deep at all. So going 8-12 in conference is unideal. This is a team I think underperformed their true talent last year, and I think they actually do have a significant more amount of talent coming in this year. The question is, can Hopkins maximize this talent? And that's why I think it's a prove-it year.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing that stuck out to me about the Huskies is their depth. I mean, if you look at what they have, arguably 9 interchangeable guys that could start here. Even if we're not talking about players like Mulcahy or Brooks or Wheeler, if you look down, like Moses Wood transferring in from Portland, right? He's going to average 15. He could come off the bench. Or Frank Kepning, right? He played well in the limited amount of games that he played, only 8 last year before he ended it with an injury. He could start reasonably at a Pac-12 level program. So I just think that having that type of depth, having that type of rotation is going to be really powerful for Hopkins. And as long as he is able to find the right 5 at the end of the game, I think he's going to be able to improve in 2023.
Yeah, another thing that stuck out to me, the 3-point shooting, because last year it was pretty awful. They were I think they were last. No, I take that back. They were not last in the Pac-12. They were better than only Cal in the Pac-12. So might as well be last. But they brought in a lot of guys with high percentage 3-point marks, including Nate Colmeese from Lamar shooting 36.7%, Mulcahy from Rutgers 37%, Moses Wood from Portland 40.3%, Wheeler from Kentucky 36.6%. And yeah, their front court, at least the starters, and you talked about the bench a little bit, looking really good. Braxton Mia comes back, and most importantly, Keon Brooks. This is going to be a good team on paper. But again, we have not seen it yet with Hopkins, or really recently at all with Washington. And we project them 8th in the Pac-12. Maybe there's 1 or 2 teams I would bump them ahead of. I'm not going to mention names because that would spoil some of the future rankings that we're going to do on this site. But I think where we have them is relatively fair. It is still prove it, like I keep saying.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about Washington is I do think they have a high ceiling, right? That's what I see when I see this team. We talked about Utah the last episode. While I think they're going to have a higher floor than Washington, I just don't think they can reach the top 5 of the Pac-12. I do think if everything falls right for Washington, they can get in that top 5 range, look for a bid, and be successful in Mike Hopkins' prove-it year.